I want to start with my most heartfelt condolences to all who lost a loved one and suffered harm in the horrifying event on July 18th, to the neighbors who survived that night, and to all who experienced loss and harm from the event. We are here today to briefly discuss what occurred on July 18th, and then to move, more importantly, into information that we can all use and should be using today and always. The skills we need to identify rising escalation and mental illness, and the resources we can and should use and share with each other so that we can take action before the ultimate event, such as something on July 18th, occurs.
As prosecutors, our role is to, when we're arriving at a crime scene, our role is to observe and to listen. I lead an incredibly dedicated team of staff, attorneys, and detectives that all take a case from the initiation all the way through to a jury if necessary. The details that we observe firsthand on the crime scene are imperative in ensuring that we make informed charging decisions. And that's why Laura and I were there. So I'm tasked with reviewing whether the officer-involved shooting violated Arizona law. And here it is absolutely clear that Officer Leon's conduct and his actions were justified under law. Officer Leon returned fire only after being run off the road and being shot at by Mr. Scarlett. Officer Leon's actions were not only justified, but they also ended a chaotic and dangerous scene, a situation where more lives might have been lost that day.
Though a criminal case will not result from the incident that occurred last month, there are resources for those that witnessed or were victims of this devastating event. Our office has been in contact with most of the victims that were directly affected by providing support and resources. However, if you believe you are a victim or witness for the events of that day, please contact our office, as you may be eligible for funds provided by our Crime Victim Compensation Fund.
As a mental health professional, I also have to share that mental illness is not the cause of gun violence. I know that there's a lot of information, sometimes, and I would call it misinformation, about mental illness and violence being equated. There are some mental health conditions, especially symptoms, that can lead a person to be at a higher risk of violence. However, most individuals who are struggling with mental health issues are often victims of violence and not people who engage in violent acts themselves.
And in addition to that intervention role that we can all play with people who are struggling today, if we want to prevent people from struggling tomorrow, we've also got to acknowledge the socialization factors that serve as the root of domestic violence. We've got to change how we treat each other. We've got to change what we laugh at, what we stay silent about, what we tolerate or accept as being unchangeable, what we teach our children about gender norms and healthy relationships.
We need to reach out to each other, and this is the moment in time. It's the difficult conversations that Ed was just talking about. We have to have these conversations with each other. When the Pima County Attorney's Office is out in the community on Saturdays, we bring gun locks with us, and it's effective. Or you can call the office and set up a quiet appointment to get one. They're free. Cuando estamos afuera de la oficina, allá en la comunidad, tenemos los condados de armas gratis para empezar la conversación important. You can take a gun lock and you can start that conversation, that difficult conversation, with a gift. I'm calling on the community, on the mothers and sisters and cousins and uncles, las primas, las novias, las abuelas, to have those difficult conversations and intervene. At this point, I want to start by saying again 622-6000. If that is a new number for you, please memorize it and share it. when you need a medical response instead of a law enforcement response. When there is crisis, it is 622-6000. Please help me get the word out.